like to discuss on some important topic, food and life. What we think about food as human being, we have to be depending on the food for all the things, our growth, our thoughts, and food becomes our part of our life. If we want to improve our life, our food should be a standard one, no balanced one. To maintain the food and connect it to life, we should know what type of food is linked to our real life. When you take the infant or the baby, it gets its first feed as a food from the mother breast milk. Like that intrauterine life also, the baby, the fetus is getting fed by the mother through without food. Even whether you are intrauterine or extrauterine or entire life, you need food. Our food cannot be separated with the life, because basically the food is the element which produces energy for our living. That itself, when you talk about the food, ultimately the end product glucose is the result of all the food items in the world, whether it's a carbohydrate, protein, lipids, fruits, leaves, root, stem, jams, whatever we form, fried fish, anything, ultimately it ends in the molecule of glucose. The glucose is the only molecule can be oxidized with this oxygen. It can produce ATP. That is our basic cellular metabolism. In that concept, are we having the standard or better food for our life? In the commercialized world, all the things are packed now. Packed and sold for the customers. Now, what did our parents, what did our grandparents, what did our old people in the past, ancient people did? They did not pack this. They prepared and ate. Then what was the lacking part? They had a different way of processing. Nowadays, this food are being processed by adding chemicals, coloring agents, some sort of unwanted ingredients might lead to malignancies for the commercial purpose. Therefore, the food is not that much acceptable for the healthy life. If the food can be prepared properly, it can be absorbed properly, and it can generate good energy for the human living. Unfortunately, in the market, most of the food items are not ready for actual consumption. That something can be contaminated, something can be mixed with some other things. For a better life, we should go back to our ancient people lifestyle. What did they do? Actually, they produce the plant, they produce the things, and they, from that raw material, they were able to produce the wanted food items. But unfortunately, after this colonization of this, after this intervention in the interference of the foreign agencies into the country, even though Sri Lanka is still an agricultural country, we are influenced by the overall by the globalization. Now the wheat flour is playing a big role in our food production, from the bakery items to any items. Earlier it was not in the market, it was not as a food. It was a chemical or a paste to do something on paper pasting or putting some advertising. That was the basic. Fundamentally, we can use this wheat flour was used earlier, those days. When you say that wheat flour is for human, they are not ready. They don't accept that. When you say we are eating bread, they didn't accept that. All people, they wanted to have their rice and curry and fish and curry, vegetables. Now, it's more or less now almost all the houses are now filled with this wheat flour products, from the bakery items of biscuits, this kotu roti, and all forms of bun and bread, all are based on wheat flour. When you think of ancient people, they did not worry about this. They prepared and they preserved it natural way, and they consumed in a proper manner. But there were some lapses in their management. But now we understand, due to the microorganisms, they wanted to heat the food. They was always heating. Then they heat and they use. Then sometimes they produce a smoke to protect some food item. Sometimes they put in the hot air to dry. Sometimes they eat the raw after washing thoroughly. Now still that system is in the market. Unfortunately, now the food has not been processed properly at our daily living setup. Most of the food are now not boiled properly, or not cooked properly, and not managed properly. Then where they starting now? As we are individuals on health issue, we wanted our food to be very clear. Unfortunately, the items are not that, because we always add extra oil to the food. Or those people, they did not use, they use the oil for some purpose. Now each and every items we go for fried rice, roasted things. Then those things are not that much healthier to our living. That's also another question in the community now. Most of the other things now, when you say the natural seasonal fruits, they are given by the nature on that particular season. What we do now? We take that fruits on the season and we use that product, or that they are chemicals, or after processing, and we use it for the another season. Now it is not actually that particular fruit is not there. We are seasonal fruits are that particular season. Now we do not consume that seasonal fruits or seasonal plant. Now we preserve them and process them to use in another months of the year. Therefore, that is not the actual way. Then processing start from these fruits also. Then when you talk about this day-to-day living, this food has come as one of the most important commercialized product. Rather than it is not prepared and delivered or distributed by the mother. Now the most of the houses are lacking kitchen. The kitchen is the one most important room or a place in a house where the things are connected. From the home, the relationship start. Husband, wife, children, mother. Then the kitchen is not a place just to cook. It is a place for gathering, discussing, confidentiality, and some families, even kitchen, they are starting their sexual activities just to initiate some talk. Our kitchen was made for multi-purpose. Now most of the houses we don't have kitchen. The kitchen has been replaced by some sort of tables and some cupboards. Then we only bring the food outside in the form of fast food and we eat, not in the kitchen, in a different room setup. Therefore, the role of the kitchen is not there. Then the preparation is not taking place. Then that particular kitchen component is almost now replaced by some other industrial persons. Now we are eating a food which has been already prepared and packed for us. Actually, that is going to be our major barrier or major problem for our disease progression. When you talk about this NCDs at one point of time, this diabetes, this lipidemia, hypertension, and malignancy, these are directly related to the food habits. When you eat, that is a formation of cholesterol, then all these things are related to the food. Then if we have a healthy food, our life is also moving towards healthy. Then bring this back to normal, whose responsibility to bring this traditional food into our homes? Parents are not trained now. Now young parents, young mothers, they are not ready to prepare and provide. They are ready to purchase and provide. Now that should be somewhere we should discuss further. Number one. Second one, there is no love in the preparation. There is no love in distribution. Only just throwing the parcels. Therefore, the mother role of feeding the children or feeding the family is not taking place. So our fundamental life pattern is changed from the food consumption, food preparation. And you won't believe, most of the people spend most of the time, their economy, in the form of food. So what we think, the purpose to have a better meals, good energy, balanced diet, and better life. Now what we do? We do not take balanced diet. We take sort of the attractive food, which is marketable in the market with a full package labeled and some colorful packing system. Attract children. They keep on asking the parents, they do, only the external cover of the food packet. They don't see what is inside. Then this is the trend in the global market now. Can we eradicate the system overnight? No. We have to rebring or rebuild the knowledge what our parents or grandparents had on preparation of food, on preservation of food and distribution of food. Then this responsibility is going to come back from the young mothers. Young mothers should take, now they will say, we are short of time, we are not prepared, we are not adapted. But that is a time we have to educate them how to prepare good meals. Now the home science, starting from science, earlier there was a subject in schools, home science. Now it has come to home economics. Actually, the home science should be implemented in each and every schools, because food preparation should be demonstrated and food preparation should be tested and tasted, and that is a way that people can have a better life. Now you can see most of the products in the market are expensive and they are closer to expiry dates, and we do not know what are the ingredients and what level of ingredient they added or how they are preparing. Because earlier the children observe, not the children, the entire family members observed on preparation of food. When they are in festival time, most of the people they are closer to the mother or grandmother. She will make some food items. Then they will closely look what is happening. They know what is the amount, what is the everything. They test that part. Now it is not there. The traditional food items and traditional food preparation and traditional thoughts of production of food. Now some items we are lost in the market. We can't find those. Though highly balanced or energetic or calorie values products, which are now proven, well proven for NCD prevention. But we do not do that. We just take. We have forgotten almost all the micronutrients because those are added in the different forms. But earlier, the people, the mothers, they prepare 2 or 3 curries to compensate the calorie values and the taste. And they have separate days also. Today is the high protein day, this is the carbohydrate day, this is the vegetable day. Then they have a weekly calendar for food preparation. On Fridays, they say today we are not going to take for some culture, we are not going to take either meat or fish, only vegetables. So we say, okay, Sunday, this we will meat. Tuesday we will say we will add this type of food. Then they have a different pattern on preparation. The food preparation and food preservation it is one of the urgent need nowadays. Right? Most of the children, they become obese or malnourished. Both the two extremes you can see the children now. They eat excessive cholesterol or cheese or margarine, those items. And these people with the economically stable, they keep on doing those part. Other way around, the children who are with the poor mother, poor environment, they don't eat those things, they keep all this on the odd things and they become malnourished. They don't have a proper meal pattern. Now when the school children are starting to school, they go to bakery and get their bun and they just go. There's no prepared food in their tiffin box. Then this is also another problem in the life. When you talk about the age-wise, now these elderly mothers or elderly population, they are now becoming more and more vulnerable because they lost their taste buds, they have lost their teeth, they have lost their or almost their interest of cooking. Then they need a food which should be acceptable to their body. Now, are we going to provide a specialized food for elders? No. We are giving a food for all group, but that is not good for elders. There should be separate food preparation for elders. Similarly, there should be separate food preparation for youngsters. There should be separate food preparation for young growing children. At the same time, there is a special food for pregnant mothers. These were in the tradition. Earlier, it was clearly, it was demonstrated in the ancient people. They won't give, okay, this is elderly, don't take this. Children, don't take this. They have some social barriers. Nowadays, that is the problem. There is a issues on food consumption. And most of the people, they are not focusing on the food production. They are towards purchasing in the market. Then food purchasing and food packing and food marketing is one of the leading business in the world now. Therefore, when you talk about the social life and health related or disease concept, that food is one of the important area we should discuss. Without food, our life cannot be balanced. So, if we want to become a better life, we should redesign our food pattern and preparatory styles as well as some preservatives. We don't want to go to the depth of the negatives and we don't want to the top of the positives. We can balance our food within the community. Therefore, as a university, we keep on talking on nutrition, we talk on biochemistry, talk about the metabolism, and we talk about all the diseases related to food, and we advise on food. Then actually, this is not the appropriate way to address the people related to food. Then if you want to do a food, we should demonstrate. Then we should be able to prepare separate food for this. This is the time we should work to bring our traditional, and we spend more money to bring things from other countries. That is why we are spending more money on bringing food items into our country. Now, when we develop our own products, we can go other way around. We can export rather than import food items. Each and everything we are trying to import. Then we are losing our economy. Now, the food has very close relationship with the economy. Food has very close with the culture, and food is very close with this agriculture, and food is connected with the technology, and food is connected with the health. Now, when you talk all these factors, the food becomes a core element of our life. Then food should be discussed, should be managed, and it should be clearly demonstrated at all levels. Then, according to the government policy, they have healthy school canteen. Are we practicing that? No. We say we want to minimize this food unnecessary things. Are we following that? Each and everything, this food is now mixed with some other things. Now you can see even other component of life. Food is not as food. Now food has come as just as a product for survival. as a person or as a academic career background, as a family physician, my suggestion, we should reconsider this move and we have to rearrange the system and we should promote the youngsters, probably the university students, those who are going to become fathers and mothers in the future. We should promote a healthy food preparation and healthy food marketing and healthy food production and healthy food life. That's a message I want to say. Comments? Comments?